Evening, everybody. It's 6:35 on Wednesday, and this is your closing comment. The video is number 1145, and I implore you, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, because we have some stuff going on both here and in the Discord room, the link for which is on the Daily Note, that have really been working out well. Okay, so the market was solidly higher today. Um, Numbers were okay. Internals were strong, 2.5 to 1, both NYSE and NASDAQ, and the volume at 4.6 billion was actually 10% higher than yesterday's 4.2 and the day before's 4.2. Also, somewhat telling is that we didn't sell off going into the close, which we've done a lot of lately. And personally, I think that's a sign of traders who don't want to hold things overnight. And that clearly was not present because we closed pretty close to the highs everywhere. Dow was up a little over 305, 0.86%. NASDAQ was the big winner, up 295.92, or over 2%, almost 2.1%. The S&P 65.64, up a 1.5%. The Russell up 38.13, or 1.86, and even the transports up 297, 1.93. And the VIX became a teenager again today, not by much. 1996 down $1.48, but was interesting. Okay, on the earnings front, we had CVS, which reported a beat, both top and bottom line. However, uh, they gave they went to the low end of revenue guidance, which the street took as a negative, but I can tell you, after looking it up, that that's exactly what they did last quarter. And in the meantime, since last quarter, the stock went from in the 90s to trade 111 yesterday. So CVS 104.79 down 604. 5.5% drop. Disney was a home run beat. The stock was depressed anyway, and on the day before the earnings came, it was actually 147.23, up 475, or 3.3%. However, record revenues, record streaming. The stock traded from 147 and change to 162.11. Let me just check to make sure that's as far as it got. Actually got to 166.57. So from 147 to 167 practically. The last is 157.30. That's up 1482, or 10.4%. And that will drag the Dow higher tomorrow. Uber also reported. Strange that Lyft and Uber both reported. They both were somewhat disappointing, although Uber less so. But Lyft turned this morning. After beating, they had a lower ridership number, although both of them said that they're getting longer rides and people are traveling, so they're getting rides to airports. So after closing at 40.19 for the Uber, up 185, it traded as high at last as 44.01, up 466, or 12%. Now, I mention the Discord room all the time, so I'm going to mention three stocks here that have been discussed in the room. And this is why it's a free room. This is why really you should go there from time to time if you have the time, and just go through and see what's going on. The room in general has been long two shippers. S-Bulk, which we have traded several times. Last quarter, they had a $1.25 dividend. We were in the stock at 22. We got the dividends. We wrote against it, took another $1.25, and at tonight's close, it's 26.66, up another $1.48. And in fact, they're getting ready to announce another dividend. Same situation with ZIM. ZIM is Zim Integrated Shipping now, where S Bulk does only dry bulk. Zim does it all. They have a great fleet with lots of different types of cargo carriers. The stock closed today 72.76, and that was up $1.47. It's actually 72.70 right now, up only $1.41. But the room has been involved in this stock for about 2 weeks, and from about the $60 level, which is really impressive. These are the kind of things that get shared in the room. We're also long a company called Xylem, XYL. This one we've only been involved really for the last day or so. And one of the guys in the room has really done his homework on it, and the room followed him in. The stock closed today 95, up 363, or just about 4%. But the stock is down over since September from about 138. 3 days ago, it touched 87. So not quite cut in half, but certainly down 40%. And in the last 2 days, it's gone to 91.37, which was up almost $2. And then today's action, 95, up 363, or another 4%. These are pretty impressive moves, and we've discussed not only the straight option plays, but several structured options positions that take very little money and, in fact, um, have a relatively low degree of risk. So there you go. Okay, as far as the chart on the screen, this is Nat Gas, and you can see it made the round trip from $3.62 to $5.57, all the way back down to $4. We are in a position now in UNG. That's the US Nat Gas ETF. We bought the calls today right against these lows. I think that a better look might be the weekly. This is the same area that we bought these options 2 weeks ago. And we did the same thing once before that. In our trades in UNG have been, pretty spectacular. We were long coming into the first of the year, the UNG 13 calls. We paid 59 cents for them and sold some of them at 98 and some of them at 2. Well, our average price was 49 cents. So we got out of the first half of them at 98 cents on the 100% up rule. The next day, we sold the balance of them between 222 and 228. A couple of weeks ago, at the end of last month, we paid 53 cents for the 14 calls, the February 14 calls. We paid 53 cents for them. We lost the first half of them at $1.06. 5 days later on the 100% up rule, and sold the balance of them later on the next day at $1.75 to $1.78. So this is a position that has been particularly good for us trading UNG, and we're in it again. And I went in it a little bit heavier here. I doubled the size of the position, which is still a relatively small position. But again, these are the things we talk about in the Discord room. The link to it is on the front of the daily note, and it's also attached to this video in the description page. So, come on in. You don't have to talk. You don't have to say anything. You can just lurk and suck up the information. Okay, so oil today was down as low as 88.41, managed to close 89.66 up on the day again. The gold 1836. We had a great trade in the gold, also up over 100%. Um, Closed today up 870. Bitcoin up 515. We had a great trade this week in the Bitcoin also. Uh, well over 100%, well over 250% actually, because um, we didn't get filled on the 100% up rule when we were supposed to, and the next morning it gapped up further. Dollar was up slightly, bonds were up a half a point. As I said, nat gas was down about a quarter, and a couple of the others that we follow that are always mentioned in the Sunday letter. Coffee, new high. I want to show you this one because it's pretty damn impressive. Uh, Coffee up $9 today, or 9 cents a pound, which is pretty substantial, almost 4%. But as you can see, this was clearly a break to the upside. I talked about this on Sunday as soon as we were going through these highs around 245, and today 258. Also, same situation with lumber. We don't trade lumber, but we do own in the stocks for total return some RYN, which is Rayonier. I think we own the Rayonier around, let's just take a quick look. We own Rayonier at 31.98. The yield on it at that point is what we were interested in, and it was substantial. And Rayonier today closed. Let's just see. Rayonier closed today 38.75, up 37 cents. So we have a nice gain in it, and it pays a nice dividend for us. Also, the lumber is much too thin for us to actually trade, so it's somewhat concerning. We don't want to get involved, even though it has been going in the right direction, and today was limit up. $45 a thousand board feet, and in the last week and a half it's gone from a low of about 900 up to this level. Lumber, here we go. So we came right back down to the moving average, the 200 day, turned on a dime, limit up, limit up, limit up, limit up, and today the first trading, but also limit up. So this is the stuff we talk about. Doesn't cost you anything. You should drop in. Have a good evening. I'll be back first thing in the morning with the important number for the week. The CPI comes out tomorrow morning.